G'day fellas and welcome to a casted game. We are here on Gorge, one of the brand new maps for Age of Empires 4. Quickly becoming one of my favorites. The open style of this map guarantees that you're going to have non-stop action throughout this game. I'm looking forward to it. Let's introduce our players. Spawning in on the southwest side of the map in the color red, playing as the Rus, we've got Sass. And in the northeast side of the map, in the color blue, playing as the Japanese, it's Kiljadi. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Gorge. It is a pleasure to be able to bring you this game. Both of these players are top-level gamers, and if you'd like to be a top-level gamer, make sure you leave a like on the video, hit that subscribe button, and of course, ring that bell for notifications. We've got ourselves a little bit of animation cancelling happening on early on in this game. For anybody who doesn't remember, this used to be, you could do this about 8 months ago, and then for some reason, I don't know why, but the devs have decided to reintroduce it. I'll be honest, I actually like it. I think it's actually really good to have animation cancelling in. It does make the Rus a little bit weaker, and hey, I'm all for that. I am not a fan of this civilization. As you guys will know, the Rus, a civilization that I just dread playing against, mainly just because you've got to take on these wolves early on, and they're loud, and they're annoying, and I don't like the sound that they make. And, you know, we're almost 2.5 years now? I'll say 2 years. 2 years through this Age of Empires. Is it 2 years? Is it 2 years? Is it not 3 years? No, it's probably just 2 years, isn't it? It's only 2 years. We got... The first year's expansion was a DLC, and then we got an expansion. So 2 years. Anyway, we're 2 years through it, and we still haven't got any way to reduce that sound down. But look, let's not worry about it. Let's focus on the good things. Let's focus on the new things, of course. We're talking about the Japanese, a civilization that is quickly falling out of favor with a lot of people. I want to know from your perspective, you, the Japanese player, or maybe the Japanese ex-Japanese player, what happened? Are you still a fan of the Japanese? For me, I'm a fan of the Japanese. I love the Japanese. In fact, I recently watched Beastie's video where he was talking about his experience with the Japanese and what he thinks about the civilization. And it was interesting to see how he had developed with the Japanese. He mentioned that he'd had to play the civilization for a couple of days, whereas the other civs, he'd only played for the 1 day. And he quickly came to the conclusion that the only real viable, I don't know if viable is the right term, but the best strategy to go with them is the fast castle. So I'm curious to see whether Kiljadi's going to be looking to do the same thing here. And one thing to note though, Kiljadi did opt for a second scout. So looking to try and deny some of this bounty away from Sass. Of course, you know the rules. How many scouts has he got out? He's got 3 scouts and he only got 80 bunti. 80, that's a good song. He's got more than 80 bunti, I can tell you that much. Kremlin now comes down over on the gold vein. I'm curious to see exactly what the plan is for Sass. It's funny how quickly landmarks can fall in and out of the meta. You know, the Kremlin, we've seen it every single Rus game for the last, what, 6 months? Maybe even more than that. Maybe 8 months, 9 months. Ever since it got its buff. And then now, or before that, it was only ever the Golden Gate. We never saw anything different. And it's kind of wild just how quickly that shifts. It's just like a single little change. I'll be honest, I don't even remember what the change was. Was it just the Gremlins? I think it might have just been the Gremlins, right? They just got militia, and the militia were really good. I remember watching a game where Demu was playing as the Rus, and there was just like 40 militia. And I was like, well, that seems pretty good right there. I don't know about you guys. I kind of like that, what he's doing right there. Anyway, Kiljadi, speaking of liking what he's doing, we got the age up on the way through Kura Storehouse in the back of the base here. Beautiful little spot he's got for it as well. Going to be doubling up on this as the wood drop off, so very smart moves there. 4 villagers working on it, and it will be a town center opening, a second TC opening coming through from Kiljadi. Bit interesting to see. Let's check in and see how he's doing on the south side. Double scouts are out. Spots another wolf. We'll be able to take it out. We'll switch from his perspective. I don't want to hear that. But, of course, Sass, he's going to be looking for a similar route. Now, normally for the Rus, they like to do something similar. They like to go for that 2 TCs. Whether we're going to see that today, though, remains to be seen. No villagers move to the stone just yet. In fact, I remember what it was about the Rus. I think there was a whole suite of balance changes that came through at the same time. And one of the big changes, might have been a little bit before that, but the stone outcropping, or rather the town center, was had its cost increase from 300 up to 350. So it basically meant that you couldn't just buy 2 tickets worth of stone anymore. And so you really had to change the way you play. But speaking of changing the way you play, have a look at this. We've got ourselves a barracks coming down for Sass on the south side of the map. Double broad axe now on the way through as well. Might look to pick up a couple more eco upgrades. Of course, good thing about horticulture. Good thing about his wheelbarrow, but he's got pretty good coverage over on this side of the map. And now an outpost going to be looking to secure up this stone. Wants to guarantee that he's going to have longevity in it. Of course, not only is the second town center an option for him, but you got to consider things like the Daimyo Manor, the Daimyo Palace, all that good stuff from that stone. So really important to keep it online. But now villagers making their way out over towards the wood line. Actually, I take it back. I thought they were moving out. It turns out they're not. It's just they're going to be gathering up on the straggler trees here. But Kura Storehouse starting to pump out those farms as well. So where do we go from here? What do we expect to see this game? Well, I've already given you my expectation. I'm expecting that we're probably going to be seeing a second town center coming out from our Japanese player. I think that's pretty mandatory. Now, I say pretty mandatory. I don't know if mandatory is the right term, but that's relatively standard. Even though we just mentioned, you know, Beastie likes to play 1TC, Fast Castle, all that good stuff. It feels like 2TC. I mean, I'm still a bit old with the meta. I'll say that much. I'm getting a little bit defensive right now, but you know, it's been a couple of weeks since I've played the Japanese. I've gotten out on the ladder. There we go. Villagers transferring. So it is going to be the second TC response coming out from SAS here. So that doesn't really surprise me. I definitely feel like the Rus are quite a strong civilization when it comes to getting that boom on. Remember, when it comes to the late game, the Rus definitely excel as long as they're able to take advantage of their siege. And the Rus have got very strong siege, especially when you're talking about, you know, your mangonel springwood combo mixed with the crossbow spear, a really decent combination. But of course, the Japanese, they've got the ability to outmaneuver it. They've got a lot of things, like they've got the Onimusha, which does particularly well as a mounted unit, very good at dodging those mangonel shots. So we'll have to keep an eye out for that. But Spearman coming out for both of these players right now. I'm curious what the decision was from SAS to go for the Spearman. Was he maybe just suspecting that there could be an Uma Bannerman coming out? Maybe that was the play. I'm not 100% sure on it, but we see that the stone has all been stacked up here for Kiljadi. Town Center going to be coming through shortly, 7 minutes, but definitely a little bit late on where you'd normally expect it. I guess this isn't your standard game. We've seen with the Rus, your opening is always going to be a bit slower, and that's the important thing to remember, is that when you're fighting against the Rus, it is just natural that things are much slower. But look at this, beautifully positioned here. The Spearman baits away the enemy spears, and the villagers are able to get down the town center. They get their shivs out right now. He's looking to try and pick off the villager. Might actually get it as well. You can see he's going to be able to take it out. Very well played there by SAS. Kiljadi down one villager now. He's going to lose his own Spearman though. And now the surround comes through. There is additional Spearman here for Kiljadi. And it looks like for the most part, he gets a second villager. Well played to SAS. Very nice moves. And we've got the second TC being dropped down by him as well. So he's going to maintain that slight economic lead throughout this game. One thing to notice is maintaining 3 vills on stone. There could be the prospect of a third TC coming through from SAS. We are seeing this slowly develop. We've seen a lot of TC-centric gameplay lately. I don't know if that's the best way to say it, but there's been a lot of people who've just been making town centers everywhere. I'm not looking at anyone in particular, Crackety. But town centers seem to have been rising in popularity, and this is something that we kind of expected would happen. You got to remember, as people get more comfortable with the matchups, they get more comfortable with the new civilizations, you're going to start pushing them to the limits, because naturally we are very greedy when it comes to playing games like this. You just want to try and be as greedy as you can. I mean, I say that, but then I think, you know, 2 of the best players in the game are just not greedy, right? Like Lucifron, Vortex. Going through both of their games, I was looking at Vortex on his stream. Dude, this guy's a machine. It's like no game lasts more than 17 minutes. Every game is finished within 17 minutes. It's like he's on a timer. You know, once the 17 minutes comes, it's just that's it. The enemy's just tapped out. I tell you what, I don't think I'd last more than 12 minutes in the ring with that guy. He is an absolute beast. But speaking of beast right now, the boar is looking for... Oh, he manages to cancel out the hunting cabin. And now falling back away from that boar. Does a nice little job. Spearman going to be taking out Spearman. But very well read there by Kiljadi, pulling that boar in a circumstance that really prevented the opponent from getting onto it. But Militia now going to come out looking to support on the front. Utilizing 2 of these tickets will mean that in the mid-game, he's going to have less units there to deal with it. Cancels the wooden fortress, says, you know what, I don't even need to build this wooden fortress first. I was a little bit fearful of it, but I'm not going to do it now. Instead, what I'm going to do is just go straight from a hunting cabin. And we might even not have to think about going for that wooden fortress. Second TC is up. Third TC's coming down. There it is. The trifecta, baby. The triangle of fantastic. I was trying to think of a word that I could use that starts with T to describe the triangular town center. The terrific triangular town center coverage that we've got here in the middle. Absolutely good stuff. Now, does this actually get scouted out? I'm curious to see. We'll ride on board with Kiljardi and check what his line of sight reveals, because at this stage of the game, it's very closed off. So he thinks he's doing the right thing. You know, I've got my 2 TCs, I'm chilling out, I'm having a good time. But the reality is, he's falling behind. Nice little wall to the town center. Keep in mind, this wall to the town center does not actually work. Like, there is an opening right here. Best thing you could probably do is just, like, wall across the town center. I think that's pretty much it. I did actually see some memers. I might have been on Reddit. Someone posted a picture of their town center, and they'd put a palisade wall around the edge of it completely, and then put a gate on there, and they're like, yeah, this is my level 2 town center. If I remember correctly. I might be misremembering, but I'm pretty sure I saw that. Anyway, it's pretty cool. I like it. Not a whole lot of health on these palisade walls, but I guess, I mean, you're effectively, you know, times 1.5 the health on the town center, so that's not too bad at all. But we'll ride on board with Kiljardi a little bit longer and see how he's doing. Wood being gathered up here. He's got immediately adjacent wood to the Cura storehouse, but not looking to really pick it up. You can see he's got... This is something that you're always going to be careful of. Look, I'm not going to issue a citation here, let alone get a visit from the macro police. But it is something to be careful of early on. You know what? Oh, it's so tempting. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. The sirens are turned off. We'll walk away. We'll let it slide. We'll use our discretion today, and we will not issue a citation for that one. But let's check in with Sass. He's got the Castle Age about to come through. In fact, both of these players are about to click up to Castle. 12 minutes into this game, let's switch it over to Income. We've had a bit of aggression early on. Floating gate on the one side, now going to come down. Expect to see the Abbey of the Trinity on the other. Actually, the High Trade House has been really popular, actually, hasn't it? So that's going to be coming down as well. All right, Drongo. Here we go. I'm going to guess. Now, this one is the trees, if I remember correctly. Yeah, it counts the amount of trees. How many trees do we think are in here? I'm not going to count them. I'm just going to give a rough estimate. I'm going to go with 51. No, 52. No, you know what? 50 square. 50 on the dot. All right, let's have a look and see. We got ourselves a bit of time. 50. That's my bet. Okay, 50. What is your bet? Let it be known. If you can beat me, I will give you a high five. I've been giving out so many high fives lately. My son, he loves high fiving. We've worked out it's like his secret thing, right? He starts screaming and crying, and we'll just be like, high five. And he's like, oh, damn, high five. Whenever he meets someone new, you just be like, high five. And he's all about that. He's like, give me that high five. All right, let's check in. All right, I'm going with 50. Come on. You want your high five? You got to be closer than me. Age up comes through. Oh, it's 51. Oh, I was so damn close. Oh, did you beat me? That's what I want to know. Floating gate on the other side of the map. Jeez, we did mention it, but unfortunately, 50 it's going to be. Not too bad. Nice little effort. Shinto Priest coming out is where... He's putting it in... Ooh, okay. Interesting. Throwing it in the forge. It's quite curious. Now, we've seen a trend away from this recently. Kiljardi opting for something a little bit different. Speaking of opting for something a little bit different, have a look at how many military he's got out on the field at the moment. This is quite a bit. But... yeah, what's interesting is that he's looking to utilize the forge here, and with that, it means that he's going to be essentially, what's the best way to say it? He's going to be backloading. He's not front-loading the use of this Yorishiro, because the most common thing that we see, barracks comes down, you put the Yorishiro in the barracks, and now all of a sudden it's producing units much faster. And that's the equivalent of 300 wood. Now, it's going to take 4 minutes to come up to parity with that. But once you've got that 4 minutes in, then the forge will start producing more gold than the wood that you would have received anyway. But I don't think it's necessarily about, you know, the resources. It's more just about the fact that you've got longevity that Kiljardi's got here. You know, it's basically a relic that's in there. It's a little bit shy of it. Horse Archers now starting to come out here against the infantry-based army of the Japanese. Could be very interesting. Of course, the Horse Archers do a fair bit of damage here, but remember, they are fragile. If they get caught, they will fall very quickly towards the middle of the map. Looks like more infantry is starting to come out. Nice little walls coming in on this top side. Curious exactly what made him go for that angle. More Horse Archers looking to join the fray. Now starting to pick up those relics. First one on the way through. Second relic also picked up on the other side of the map. The Shinto Priest has got one in his hands. He's got to be careful. He needs to pay attention. You can see this is the problem when you're playing any kind of like horseman, well, not horseman, but crossbow comp. It's like, do you really want to play this composition? It's like you have to keep your eyes on the prize all day. It looks like he's going to do it. And look, to be fair, fair enough. Against the Japanese, they love their melee units only compositions. But already we see a reaction coming in on the other side of the map as it looks like the second forge has received its Yorishiro. It is looking happy. So we can see he's actually got the rest of them rally down. Have a look at that, the angle that he's got going on there. Wow, that is some forethought. One rally point out to here, second one out to the relic, third rally point over to the Shinto shrine. Nothing else after that though. Veterancy starting to come through for Kiljari. Military numbers, a little bit in his favor. Economic numbers, not so much. At the moment, it's going to be a 3-2 relic split, with Sass taking 3 of the relics, and Kiljari on the Japanese taking 2 of the relics. So throughout the late game, that advantage will be slightly in favor of Sass, but remember, Kiljari does have those relics, and it works out to be about 4 relics for him. It's a little bit less than it, but I'm pretty tempted to just call it 4 relics worth. So you've realistically got 6 relics up against 3 relics. Tell you what, it's almost like a secret hidden little Regnitz. Villager has gone down on the south side. Now these horse archers are looking to cause havoc. Outpost is on standby. Veteran Yumi Ashigaru ready. Also willing. Keep in mind the range difference between these two units. You've got 4.5 tiles of range up against the 5 tiles of range. Oh, it's only that when they only get that higher range when they're in the Imperial Age, isn't it? Now I remember. We have a look here. Yeah, mounted training. An extra 2. Wait, hold on. Gallop? Unlock the gallop ability? I don't remember this. Hold on. Increase weapon range of horse archers by 1 and unlock gallop ability. Activate to move at maximum speed with 2 tile weapon range for 8 seconds. Plus 2 tile weapon range. So that means that they go from 4.5 to 5.5 and then from 5.5 to 7.5. Now, I don't know what maximum speed is, but I feel like that's, you know, we're reaching light speed at that point. How fast is maximum speed? You can't just be saying traveling at maximum speed and expect me to not theorize what that potentially could be. Down towards the south side, more horse archers getting cleaned up. A little bit of a raid, not gonna be a problem for Kiljari. And now chased away from this position. You can see on the backside, plenty of horse archers here. The front line looks like it's gonna be a slow and steady death for them. See the horse archers just happily teeing away and indeed forcing back all of these infantry units. Sacred's victory now approaching. He's picked up 3 of the sacred sites. Very well done for him, Kiljari, despite only having a slight military advantage. So I guess just paying attention to that religious aspect a little bit more than what Sass was. Now keep in mind, both of these guys, as I mentioned earlier, very good players. Conqueror 3+++ players. So expect very minimal mistakes from them. Springwood placements definitely going to be helping him out a little bit. We'll throw a couple of units in the garrison, help out, supporting. Villager goes down. Actually, it wasn't a villager, it was a Shinto priest. And now those horse archers are looking to try and get through into the farmland. If it happens, it could be difficult for Kiljari to deal with. Now, keep in mind, he does have the town centers here to support. Daimyo Mena is through, looking to get the Daimyo Palace. But we'll obviously need that final upgrade to really make a difference. But speaking of making differences, have a look at this. Villagers are going down on the south side of the map. He's taken out 6 workers so far. The 7th one almost goes down. 3 health left on it. Won't go down. Up towards the north. Sacred sites are being neutralized. We do hear that first one going the way of the Rus. Relics nowhere to be seen here on the ground, though those warrior monks are out on the map and now looking to try and take out the villagers. We can see he's yet to get the textiles through, but the town center together with the Honor Bagasha will be able to close out this raiding attempt. Still manages to take out a large amount of villagers. That's 13 workers taken out so far this game. Beautiful economy he's got going. Have a look at the size of this thing. Lovely amount of farms over here for Kiljari. He's living his best life, that is for sure. All right, well, let's check in with our Onion over on the southwest side of the map. The farms are starting to come up, and I call him the Onion just simply because of his defense. Have a look at this. You got, I like this wall-to-wall combat right here. I don't know if that's the right term, wall-to-wall combat. Wall-to-wall walling, maybe. Sure, we'll take it. Nice little infantry raid again on the backside. It's taken out a handful of villagers this time. We can see a few of them going down. And now looks to try and hit. He's got to be careful not to focus down these men at arms. You can see that they've got that 4 armor, kind of useless. And now instead going to be focusing on those villagers, which is definitely the right call here. Up to double-digit kills now. So both of these players looking to do damage to the enemy's economy. But keep in mind, you've got that 3 TC powerhouse that sits down here on the south side of the map. Now, of course, Sass will be looking towards that Imperial Age. I feel like one of the keys that you want to look for before you go Imperial Age is a keep. But I don't know if he's necessarily in that position to do it. I think he's probably going to need more units out at this stage. He is stretched rather thin. I mean, even if you go for a keep, where do you put it? You put it here on the gold. But even then, it's maybe you're better off going back here or something like that. You know, delete a couple lumber camps maybe. Could be an option for you. But now those horse archers starting to really build up in number. He's up to 26 horse archers, 21 of which are in the middle here. A couple more raiding. Never mind, it's only a warrior monk doing some raiding. And now for the most part, Sass has pretty decent map control. The walls are really starting to come up. You can see he's absolutely going ham with the walls. He's happy with the one that he's managed to secure. But there is still technically an opening. Delete the palisades or even just come along and throw a gate right here. You've got an opening into your opponent's base. And I don't know if Sass necessarily realizes that this early on. Down to 22 horse archers. He's got to be careful. Wants to avoid standing still and fighting with these horse archers. Needs to make sure he's constantly kiting or has a front line. That's really, really important. Mangonel falls a little bit short. Second Mango is out as well. Third Mango is also out. Oh my god, has he got Yoroshiros in here? No, he doesn't. He's just got double Siege Workshop. He is pumping right now, dude. This is starting to get a little bit serious. 4 Mangonels. I mean, at this stage, I'm just tempted as a response from Sass. Where did all of Sass's units go? Look at this. Look at this. You just want to throw down your own Siege Workshop immediately. Don't put it down at the front of the base. You want to go down to the back, okay? And you got to prepare for Imperial Age as well. So you go Siege Workshop here, get some Springalds out, and then start thinking about putting your Imperial Age landmark over here, just to make sure you've got that cheaper siege. But speaking of Imperial Age, don't tell me he's doing it. This is a little bit early for an Imperial Age, especially when you're down this many units. Don't do it, Sass. I know you want to. I know you're seeing it, and you're like, I'm getting the in-game sound to age up. Should I click the button? Should I do it? Don't do it, Sass. Just make units. Just make units. And it looks like that's what he's going to do. He heeds the advice of Drongo. He makes units for a little bit longer. That's definitely the right call at this stage of the game. You really need to get units out. Look at the infantry number here for Kiljardi. Really starting to build. I'm loving this style of play as well. And we do see a couple of Onamushas also joining the fray here as well. Warrior monks are out. He's got 5 of them. And now it looks like Sass is going for a bit of a mix-up of unit compositions. We've got horsemen. We've got the horse archers. We've got crossbows, men-at-arms. Of course, we've got the warrior monks out. And of course, a Springald. He's put the siege workshops at the front of his base. Amateur mistake. I can't call the macro police because this technically isn't a macro mistake. This is a game sense mistake. Not even a game sense mistake, just a game knowledge mistake. Ideally, you want to keep these siege workshops at the back of the base because this is really high priority stuff. Making sure that those Springalds come out, but we're going to enter into the cinematic mode as these Mangonels move up together with the infantry mass. They're teeing off. Horse archers coming around the back. He's looking to try and find a way through. At the same time, the Springalds, big shots coming off onto the horse archers. Takes out a handful of them. The warrior monks on the backside looking to try and deal with the Mangos and looking to find success here. They've taken out 3 of them. That's going to be the 4th one that goes down. Whoever knew the warrior monk was so damn strong? And now on the back line, the warrior monk tanking up all of these shots will go down eventually. But look at the defense coming out here from Sass. Incredible stuff. I didn't expect that. Not with so many Mangos. Those warrior monks are impressive, man. You got to watch out for those things. That is ludicrous how good those guys were. Wow. And now with a massive defense coming through from Sass. Now you can go Imperial Age, Sass. I will give you permission. This is the time now for you to go Imperial Age. Fall back. Go Imperial. Get to Imperial Age and then just spam out. Triple stable coming down. Remember, we want to leave space for our landmark. We don't want to leave our landmark on the front, Sass. And don't be one of those guys who makes the landmark down here and then has to remake your siege workshops. Like, siege workshops are not cheap, dude. These things are 300 wood a pop. So you got to be really careful with your placement of them. And you definitely have to have quite a bit of cognizance when it comes to placing it down. But Age Up looks to be coming through shortly. He's at 171 population compared to his opponent on 170. It's even Stevens at the moment. Currently checking the economies. It looks like we're sitting at about 4.2, 4.3k for Kiljardi. On the other side, it looks like we're sitting at about 5.4k for Sass. So he's definitely got the eco advantage at the moment. As you would expect, he did open with 3 TCs compared to his opponent's 2 TCs. Now, when is that click going to happen? I can feel it any second. There it is. Hi, Amri. I just knew it was coming down. It's one of those things that you get, you know? Once you get to a certain age, you just start predicting landmarks. I remember when my dad got to 61 and he's like, Drongo, I know it. This game, it's going to be a council hall game. It's like, Dad, it's always a council hall game. You can't just be throwing that out there. I know you're 61. I know you're a clairvoyant now. But you can't just be saying it's a council hall game. The best part was, it wasn't a council hall game. It was an Abbey of the Kings game. Poor Dad. Poor Dad. He's still trying hard. Mango could look to find a decent shot here. Remember that when Sass gets this landmark up, or I should say, remember, if Sass gets this landmark up, it's going to reduce the cost of the nearby siege. Yeah. What? Look at Drongo. Hey guys, oi. Who was the one who said not to build the landmark on the front? It was this guy. Double Springwood come out, able to take out both of the mangoes. He's got 2 mangoes of his own that stand strong. Look to fire off, a little bit defensive. Not going to look towards that backline where they get that extra damage. Springwoods need to be careful. These guys are expensive. You don't want to lose them. Mango still firing off towards the front. Reinforcements coming in. I don't see too many of the militia coming through just yet. He's got the Kremlin that's firing down, and the infantry numbers are looking good. The Springwood comes in for a little bit of a kiss. Unfortunately, he got more than he bargained for. I tell you what, how many of us have gone out on a Friday night and got more than we bargained for, if you know what I mean. Is that another LGBT joke coming in right there? Anyway, welcome MBs. Hope you guys are doing well, guys and girls. That's a gender neutral guys right there. Anyway, it looks like he's managed to repel it once again. Sass coming out on top. Impressive stuff from him here. Now, I just hit an F button. I don't know exactly where that was. And now the landmark does come up. Where did he go? Don't tell me he did it in that spot. Yeah, he put it down here. Yeah. Well, at least it's in the right spot. You just got to get the siege workshops down here now. Because remember that it's got that AoE around it that reduces the cost of siege by 20%. Yeah, ideally, you want to be utilizing that. Other key upgrades that we're going to be looking for here include banded arms, really important one. And the other one is going to be that tear down timing siege crew training, which allows you to tear down and set up those mangoes with instantaneously. So you just basically get the AoE 2, the AoE 2 dynamic, where it's just, you know, you set it all up and just boom, that's it. You don't have to deal with this annoying little tear down setup thing. All right, well, Taganashima Gunsmith going to be coming in on the other side of the map towards that top side. Kiljadi now preparing something special for his opponent. Will it be the Ozutsu? I suspect it probably will. Everyone's favorite late game unit. Battering rams up towards the north. Sass trying to get the keep down. Not going to be able to find it. Kiljadi immediately able to cancel it down. But now that push is really starting to come to shove. Elite crossbowmen are through. Orsarcher, the upgrade's yet to come in. Roller shutter triggers is through. Banded arms on the way. Mangonels with their crossbar. I think it's extendable crossbar. I want to say extendable crossbar. Adjustable crossbar. He's coming through. And on top of that, we also see precision crossbreeding coming in for the farm. So it means his farming economy is really going to start to take off. But speaking of farming economies taking off, ladies and gentlemen, the Shogunate Castle has arrived. Kiljadi, Imperial Age. Shogunate Castle. 75% food gather rate. I like it. I love it. That's a KFC ad in Australia. I don't know if that's a KFC around the world though, but it's definitely a thing in Australia. You'll just be sitting there watching the TV with your grandparents like, do we really have to watch this? And then just, you get blasted at 300% volume. I love it. Sorry. Now I want to zing a stacker. How good is zing a stackers? Oh yeah, that jam that they put on them. Oh, chef's kiss. Anyway, behind the scenes, Men at Arms, working his hardest to try and take down the Shinto Shrine. Something tells me it's not going to happen, though. Meanwhile, on the front, the battering rams able to take out the keep. Upgrades are on the way through. It looks like we're going to be moving into Samurai. Kiljadi definitely making the right call here. The question is going to be, how does Sass deal with this? I think Streltsy are definitely the right call for him. I think a combination, Streltsy, Springwood, Mango, is going to be absolutely in this late game. It'll be really, really nice. The Mangonel, of course, very good at dealing with Ozutsu, hand cannoneers, dealing with... I mean, if you get enough Mango, they're good at dealing with everything, I guess, really. Adjustable crossbars. We're going to provide a little bit more attack speed on that single Mango. He's only got the one Mangonel firing, though. Does have the second and third one. You can see that there's no teardown timer anymore by the looks of it. Let's double check and make sure. No, never mind. Siege crew training not yet through. It's just that's just how it is, it seems. That's just how it is. All right, well. Sass now pushing up towards this top side. Kiljadi. Just doing a little bit of a run around. Keep in mind, he's still got big upgrades that he needs to look for. We need to see, it's not elite army tactics, it's elite Oda tactics. We need to see that. And you might be wondering, elite Oda tactics, how is that different from elite army tactics, Strongo? Well, I'll tell you right now, I actually went into a game and found that out, because I'm like, why do they get this unique university tech that is identical? It's not identical. You want to know why? they get 20% extra torch damage. Yep, that's it. 20% health, 20% attack, and 20% torch damage. You can see everybody else just gets 20% damage and 20% health. That's it. But did you know that these guys get torch damage? Wow, so cool. Extra torch damage. And that's the difference between the Japanese Imperial Age and everybody else. All right, well, the infantry mass is starting to build here. He's up to 41 samurai. Maxed out, 200 population at the moment. Kiljadi is. The Ozutsu firing off towards the center. Wooden Fortress will be going down. The Streltsy looking to tee off. He's got mangoes behind this wall. Could be a big shot. Could be a decent shot. Triple mango shot over the wall. It's good, all right. Have a look at that for some damage. The Streltsy together firing off, saying, "You shall not pass. Tear down this wall, Mr. Gorbachev." I think that's how the quote went. I think that was from Gandalf, right? Gandalf. Towards that north side, horsemen looking to make their way through. Have a look at this. Damn, damn, damn. I feel like a Smo Yoho video right now. Do you guys get that reference? Damn, damn, damn. If you don't, Google it. What's the song, dude? I can't even remember the song. It's so good though. Crispity crunch. Damn. Look at the bacon. Damn. Get yourself a double cheeseburger. Okay. Oh man. Oh, Shmo Yoho. What a great time to be on the internet those days. Oh gosh. Not so much anymore. We're all too triggered these days. I just triggered so many people by saying we're too triggered. That in itself triggered me. I just triggered myself. That's a self-trigger. It's like a self-report or self-own. But it's worse, because you're going to spend all night crying about it. But anyway, speaking of crying right now, it looks like Kiljadi's going to be making his opponent cry as the infantry come around, wrapping around those wood lines. Mangonels, mangonels, mangonels! Big shot onto the front line. You can see immediately he falls back. Kiljadi says, "Go on, get on out of here. We got to scram, guys." And exactly what he does. He just realizes, I can't deal with these mangonels. The mangonels are what make this so damn hard. This is going to give him an opening. The Streltsy standing strong. Ozutsu firing off. Mangoes, big shot, comes down, lands on top of the samurais, fighting back once. What is he doing right now? I've got no idea. Has he just not, he's got no way to get back through? He wants to come north, or what's the go here? He's going to lose all of this infantry, and the mangoes are going to be the key component to that. Ozutsu chasing him away. And I guess we could pretty much just say that all these little guys, oh my lord, look at the walls. You guys like onions? I like onions. Congratulations. You've won an onion. Talk about layers. Oh my lord, right now I feel like I'm looking at Shrek. Is it Shrek? I think that's a Shrek reference. Donkey is talking about layers and onions. Layers. I'm gonna have to Google it now. I'm not gonna Google it. I won't remember it. I could set myself a reminder to Google it though. Layers, Shrek quote layers. Dude, look at the walls that are coming up. Dude, look at the walls that are coming up. He is walling the entire map. This is my map. And you can see on the other side, Kiljadi, he's not neglecting walls by any means. It's just that there's not very many of them. And you've still got this absolute meme of a wall that all of the horsemen just routinely run through. Like, what does this wall even do other than make you feel safe? Yeah, it feels safe, but you know what? I just feel I'm self-conscious now because all the horsemen just keep running through this tiny little wall. This tiny little hole. You said it wouldn't fit. It fit perfectly. All right, horsemen chasing away villagers. Sass on the aggressive right now. Keep in mind that infantry mass did go down towards the south. It's going to give him an opportunity to rebuild. Kiljadi, 161 population up against 200 population from Sass. And look at the resources that Sass is starting to stack up here. But this is where it gets scary. People don't respect the samurai enough. I feel like this unit is absolutely broken. We just don't know it yet. I mean, for everybody in the Gold League, you guys know it, right? Like, you deal with this every single game. You rock up at a game, 46 minutes in, you're like, all right, we're good to go. And then the samurai roll in, and it's just, well, how did that happen? How did that happen? They're broken. They're absolutely broken. Samurai. Oh, they're not even dude, they're not even upgraded. Not even upgraded. Doesn't have Banner Man with them. This isn't even my final form. This isn't even close to my final form. This is like Cell in Dragon Ball Z, but it was like the very first stage of Cell. It's like, you know, really, really early. No, not that early. This is like the level 2. He's got some upgrades. He's got some upgrades. We'll give him that. Streltsy cleaning up. The onion has been breached. The onion has been breached. I repeat, the onion has been breached. We need more walls. And in the middle of the map, just as the keep was going up, it goes down. Oh, you hate to see it. The village is going to be forced to scramble away. And meanwhile, this composition from Sass is starting to look a little bit slow here. Might even be a good idea to move into lances or something, knights, just to help you out a little bit. You've got the horsemen for the moment and plenty of resources in the bank. I think that's actually going to be the smartest move, to just go straight into knights here. He does have the biology upgrade, so all he really need to do is look for elite knights. And then from there, oh my god, early knights needs to go into knights and then into elite knights. And then he could go as well into the poleaxe. Why is he not going knights? Knights are so good in this situation. And they can help you just clean up these annoying little raids. You just send 5 knights down here, gone. 5 knights up here, gone. Knights at the front, gone. Why no knights? Kiljadi's starting to tear him apart. Look at this. This is the classic Japanese late game. I feel like I'm almost watching. Remember that 4v4 I played as the Japanese? It feels like that. You're going to tear them apart from every single angle. Springwood's coming through, looking to try and pick off the villagers. Streltsy backing off. You can see, have they got their chemistry upgrade? They do. They're fully upgraded, those Streltsy right now. Got everything going for them. Double time, looking to make a decent dent here. 9 battering rams on the field for Kiljadi. Ozutsu in queue. 4 Benemen as well. Kiljadi pumping non-stop right now. And Sass goes from a position where he was in a really decent spot. And he is just forced to chase these units around the map. And this is why the Japanese absolutely kick ass in the late game. Because you can set it and forget it. You take a couple units and you move them over here. You take a couple units and you move them over there. You take a couple units and you move them down here. And then you focus on the front. And your opponent's got to go chase you like the Looney Tunes. And at the end of the day, you're just able to focus. You can send everything down mid. Everybody down mid. Come on, all 5 of us. Let's go down mid. Hey, you, get off Krogs. You don't need gold right now. And then he goes back to base, and you're like, come on, man, there's 4 of them dead. We just took Baron. We need to push now. And he's like, oh, I got to get my item, dude. Sorry. It's like, okay, all right, sure. No worries, we'll let ya. And now Kiljadi. Managing to not really make too much of a dent there against the Streltsy. The Streltsy are doing all right, but have a look at that villager count. It's starting to fall. He's still in 3 digits at the moment, but he is relentless, Kiljadi. Down to 102. Looks like he's probably going to be able to force his opponent into that range of double digits. You hate to see it. Double digits. Do you remember your double digit, your first birthday? 10? And your dad's like, well, double digits. You're so old now. I remember. Dude, did my dad just get 2 references in one video? Dad, shout out. How you doing? You all right? Well, speaking of dad, Kiljadi, he's setting up camp right now like a dad would. Have a look at this. Double keep, double castle. He's having an absolute field day out here. The Japanese, just when we were talking about how strong their samurai are, he brings the keeps or the castles to the fore. You know what's funny is that the castle is available in the Imperial Age, not the castle age. Isn't that so silly? But there's a good reason. These things, they're pretty good. Villagers now jumping out. He's going to look for a repair. Plenty of resources in the bank. Should be able to find it. Ozutsu able to clean up the remnants of that battering ram, and he stands strong. He stands tall. Sass now. 54 population open. Plenty of resources to throw down a keep if he wanted to, but it just feels like he doesn't quite have the APM there. We're right on board with him as he looks to defend up against this relentless push coming through from Kiljadi. The double castle push now coming in. The Japanese castle's incredibly strong. Remember, it's not the only castle he's got. If I remember correctly, he's got a second. Yeah, there's another one back here, a third one. Got the big walls up as well, and now looking to push through. We enter into the cinematic mode on the defensive as the castles fire down towards the battering rams and the Streltsy, forcing back all of those units. Only the battering rams move forward from this. Looks like is the castle firing at the buildings? I swear I saw the castle just fire at the building, or maybe it got intercepted. Maybe the Iron Dome is present over here. It was like, takes it out. Ozutsu mass really starting to build. Have a look at this. Dude, the Ozutsu. The supreme hand cannoneer of the late game. Long gone are the days where the Grenadier was considered king shit. Now, the days of the Ozutsu are upon us. Look at them firing down at all the units here with absolute impunity. They don't care. Samurai need to provide a little bit of cover. There's the Benemen. I was wondering where these guys were. It said on the UI he had 6 of them, and I'm like, dude, he doesn't have 6 of them. There's nothing out here. Finally, they arrive, and look at them swinging a win. Ozutsu one-shotting buildings. Next up, it's going to be a landmark. Boom, he says. Headshot on the Kremlin. Let's see what you got, FPS Doug. Boom, another headshot. 2 more shots coming through, and it should be the death of the Kremlin. 3, there it goes. Give me a 4th one. Here we go. Boom, it's a headshot again. He gets the critical damage, and that is it. Everything is over Red Rover right now for the counter-terrorists. But have a look at this. still behind the scenes. We've got ourselves more and more keeps coming up. Not more and more keeps coming up, but rather more and more castles getting repaired. Plenty of samurais here. He's continuing to push through. The Ozutsu, actually the hero. Unironically the hero. Look at the damage that it's able to deal. All of the units taken out. Where is Sassa's economy at right now? Let's get a quick... Never mind! Sassa's eliminated! Look at that timing for you. Wow! All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be it. I'll leave a link down in the description of where you can watch these two. That was a pretty damn good game. I tell you what, Sass was looking really good in that early stage of the game, even in the mid game, but in the end, Kiljadi, he just closed it out perfectly.